Hi, my name is Dov Lesel. This is part 2 of a series of talks about savings and investing. The idea of these talks is to explain the purpose of saving and, more importantly, a simple explanation on investing that will allow you to enhance whatever money you have. This talk is about what's keeping me from saving. There are many reasons that people don't save. The number one reason, of course, that is put forward by most people is that because they are not making enough money to save. And I understand that. It's a legitimate reason, but hopefully as we walk through this, you will see that even when you don't think you're making enough money to save, you still may be able to save money. I draw on this because my parents definitely did not make a lot of money. And it would have been easy for them to say that there's simply not enough money to save. But my mother was always able to set aside 10 to 20% of whatever money came in as savings. The second reason that people give for not saving is the difficulty in deferring gratification. When you have some money, the first thing most people think of is, what can I buy with this? This is the case when people win the lottery, but this is also the case when you get a bonus, you get a raise, or simply at the end of the month, there's a few dollars left over. And for many people, the first thought, oh great, I can now spend that money rather than to save that money. There's a famous psychology experiment about marshmallows and young children. The teacher would come into the room and hand out a marshmallow to each of the students and tell them for any student who had their marshmallow and did not eat it while the teacher was out of the room, when the teacher came back, he would give these people an extra marshmallow, so they would have two. What the experiment found was that a majority of the children could not resist eating the marshmallow, and very few kept on to the marshmallow to be able to win that second marshmallow. So these two things, the I'm not making enough money and the difficulty in deferring gratification, also rest on the concept of differentiating between needs and wants. You may be a person that, for instance, goes to work all day, and you go out to lunch with your buddies, maybe by yourself, and you feel, I deserve to spend some money because after all, I'm spending all this time working. This concept of I deserve undermines oftentimes your ability to save, because I deserve this means you will be spending money on it rather than putting the money aside. The other reason that often people have difficulty putting money aside, saving money, is the concept of carpe diem, which is the Latin for seize the day. For many people, they have this idea of, I don't know how long I'm going to live, and so when I have money, I am going to spend it. But the reality is, you don't know how long you're going to live. Most people live well into retirement. Most people these days can live into their 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s. And so the idea of saving and spending is the balance. You need to balance the concept of carpe diem, of enjoying your life, with the concept of saving some of that money so that you will have an ability to enjoy your life later on, and enjoy it much more, because with the proper investment, you will have a lot more money to spend. Lastly, the fourth reason is I don't want my friends to think I'm cheap. This is a powerful motivator for people to go and spend money. So whether it's not wanting to appear cheap, whether it's because you believe that you deserve this, which is what the television advertisements constantly tell you, whether you think you can't. The idea is, look at the motivations, look at your reasons, look at the impediments that keep you from saving money, and then decide whether this is truly in your long-term best interests. If you cannot save, if the year goes by and at the end of the year you have nothing saved, you have no more money than at the beginning of the year, how much better are you than a slave? You can't walk away from your job because you have no money saved. You have to keep on working. You are subservient to your boss. You don't have an option. Most people are in this category. Most people live from paycheck to paycheck. They may excuse their non-saving because, well, we don't have enough. I have heard this from many people. People saying, well, now I don't have enough. However, at some point, as I get salary increases, as I get a better job, I will then start saving. I will save then. But the reality is, saving is a habit. You start that habit at the present. Otherwise, there is always that feeling of, I just am not making enough money to save. And that can go on forever. I know people who have made a lot of money, but they spend it all because they figure, I'm going to make more money in the future. I will save then. The other thing that you need to know about saving money is the sooner you start saving, not only do you create good habits, but in addition to the good habits, as you invest that money, the longer you have time to invest, the more money you will end up with. So think about and really understand the reason that you believe you do not save money. And the idea of these talks is to have you work your way through them so that you too can save at least 10 to 20% of your income and not feel that your life is any less for it. Thank you.